Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you're having a fabulous day here today. We're going to be going over the full SILVERWOLF preparation guide and things to do before 1.1 does go and release. I hope you guys are ready for this. Like and subscribe helps out a ton. Let's jump into it. To start this off in the right way, first thing, this is the banner. SILVERWOLF over here as the 5-star rate-up character. On the bottom left over there, you have Donheng, Asta, and Serval. A pretty solid banner for a lot of people to pick up some characters here, or rather, some dupes for characters. These all three have been given for free, so realize you're mainly going for dupes for said characters. Again, if you're building any of these characters, they all work in some sort of way. Each one serves a purpose and are very strong, so keep it in mind. If you do plan on using Serval as your replacement of a few characters in the future, you definitely could. Whatever you're trying to do, just make sure you have the necessary materials for these characters as well. I will only provide you for the materials for SILVERWOLF first, so keep that in mind. To build this character, you need a lot. Alright, start off, okay, what you need, 300,000 credits, 5 of these, which is the those are ancient parts. Whoops. Well, we'll do it this way, right? Void cast irons. You need 65 of those. That will be this currency over here. You will also need 15 ancient engines, which will look like this over here. You will need 15 ancient spindles, which will look like this over here. You will need 5 ancient parts, which will look like this over here. So 5 of these, 15 of these, 65 of these, 15 of these. Did I get that right? Yeah. So keep that in mind, a lot to go through on just the material side of things. So that's the first thing. Second thing, if you want to go and do traces, it's gonna be a lovely one. You need 3 million credits. First thing. Second, you're going to need 18 Obsidian of Dread. Yikes, it's a lot, alright? 69 Obsidian of Desolation, which will look like this, Obsidian of Desolation, pretty much up there. 139 Obsidian of Obsession, which is this one over here, Obsession. We then have 41 Ancient Parts, as I already had showed you. That's Ancient Parts over here. You will then need, again, the Spindles, the Engine, which again, I already showed. This is Spindle, this is the Engine. So again, you need those a crap ton more. 12 Destroyers Final Road, okay? Over here, Destroyer's Final Road, you need that too. Then again, 8 Tracks of Destiny over here. Pretty sure we all kind of know what Tracks of Destiny are, so pretty simple. That's your Tracks of Destiny. They've been given to you in so many different events, so make sure you can at least stock up on those and be ready. But that's what it looks like over here for the materials. So, not bad. On to the next part. We're talking about the character itself and what to know about the Relic Sets. Now, when it comes to Relic Sets, I want to make sure this is clear that I would recommend maybe, just maybe you want to farm this afterwards, because we don't just yet know the best set, okay? We speculate what the best set could be, but this character needs testing. With any character, I think that this character specifically really needs testing before we get down the right idea. But if you want to go for a area, this works. This is basically just a very simple Musketeer set, which works for any character, so if it's not perfect, you can swap it in anybody else. It's basic attack and that's it. It's good. The ideal one that has been tossed around heavily is Break Effect set. This one over here, Thief of Shooting Meteor. This one works very well. This is the one that people are pushing the most. There's also Genius of Brilliant Stars, which is straight up just increasing quantum damage, okay? So it depends on what you think is the best one. It's one of these 3. This is obviously like the least one, so it's one of these 2 more so. This is just like an ideal set for any character per se, okay? So for what it is, it can get thrown onto anybody, but it's either Break Effect or it's quantum damage, okay? After testing, we can find out more, but both are perfection. So you have to pick one. You have to see which one works the best for the character. I do recommend to wait for testing, just in case, right? Just in case. But if you want to go for it, the one that I've seen the most recommended across everyone is this one. So Break Effect, right? With it, if you're chasing stats, people are aiming for chess pieces being effect hit rate, which is, again, it's different, right? So it's effect hit rate is what people are going for. You can also go for a just base attack. If you're going for the feat, you have to go for speed, right? Obviously, those are like the always things here. Quantum damage, if you want to aim for that, that is pretty freaking good. Energy, I think regen rate or Break Effect is the one that people are shooting for on Link Rope. So keep that in mind. But that is what people are chasing for stats, right? Effect hit rate, maybe crit damage, maybe some attack. Depends on what you're, again, wanting to go for. But this is the one pushed the most. Over here, speed is obviously always pushed the most. You should always know that speed is very, very good. So that's there. Quantum damage is a very good skill or stat to have. Then again, regen rate is also pretty good, so depends, okay? That's what there is for the stats over here. If you want to talk about what's basically afterwards, the light cones, that's a rough one, okay? For this said character, the ideal light cone, obviously just like Jingyuan, obviously just like Zila, is the 5-star light cone. There's no lie there. There's no, whoops, I just said it just to say it. There is no reason. This is just the best one, okay? But obviously, it's not the one we're all going for. Going for Lycones is very bad for a lot of free-to-play players and very hard. So I'm not going to recommend it, but if you want to actually build a character to max potential, you'll need this one. Increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 24%. It's already huge. It when the wearer deals damage to an enemy with 3 or more debuffs, which is kind of often, it increases the crit rate by 12%, which is good. After the wearer uses their basic skill or ultimate move, there's a 100% base chance to implant Ether Code on a random target that does not have it yet. Targets with Ether Code receive 12% increased damage for 1 turn. It's powerful. It is very powerful, okay? That's there. But a lot of us are not going for it, so we're stuck with the 4-star roster. With this 4-star roster, who can we aim towards? Mainly, it's this one. Before the tutorial mission starts, you'll get fully superimposed Lycone for free, by the way. The event will offer that. Increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 20%. When the wearer attacks the enemies that have reduced defense, regenerates 4 energy. It's pretty freaking good. So, for what it is, this is your ideal Lycone. Free-to-play way, 4-star, super simple. That is what you're going for, okay? Let's say, oh, I don't want to go for that. You have Fermata over here. This one also works. Increases the break effect dealt by the wearer 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and increases the damage enemies inflicted with a shock or wind shear 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. This also applies DOC, so pretty good. That's the one. Beyond that, I mean, this is not bad. For every debuff the enemy has, the damage dealt from the increases by this, stacked up 3 times. It's not that bad. I've seen this one being talked about also when the wearer hits the enemy, and if the enemy has not been already ensnared, then there is a 60 to 100% chance, or base chance to ensnare the enemy. Ensnared enemy's defense decreases. This is also there. We will meet again after the wearer's basic skill. Yeah, so I would definitely aim for this one to be the number 1 one. This is like a backup option. That's what I would go for. Eyes of the Prey is the effect hit rate, and then increases DOT. So it's okay, but I think that the ideal one really stands at this one. If there's another one that you think here that is pretty good, let me know down below. But these 2 are the ones that I kind of had my eye on. For the 5-star one, In the Name of the World, yeah, no, we'll stick with the 4-star ones. All right, this is it. So with that, I would say that's the best Lycone to go for the character. Again, I already went over relic sets. I already went over materials, things you need to prep there. So mainly, those are what you have to kind of get ready before this character does go in release. Realize now that there is a lot of testing this character has to go through to like think about ideal teams. So in this video, I would include team building, right? I always do usually when I talk about like preparing for a character. But for this one, I really don't know what to say too much, just because I really wanted to wait for testing. Before I give you too much information that could be incorrect or, again, 100% spot on, we don't know. That's just me taking a gamble and a risk, right? So we do want to see how the debuffs are applied, what the team comp is, how the percentage is, what's the actual rate of the proper debuff of the team you're running, how is that applied, right? So we have to think about that for future stuff and just keep that in the back of our head. But people are really like going for like the Azila, SILVERWOLF kind of combo. I've seen a lot of people talking about that. And then running like Fushuan over here when that drops in the future. And then just filling up the roster like that. It depends. We'll have to wait and see before we actually make any assumptions or anything like that. So at the end of the day, that's really all we can do. Okay, so I usually would include team building in here. And clearly, I can't just do the reason that, yeah, things could change and we don't know how the character is structured. Okay, so for what it is, again, prep guide, I gave you everything. You have a lot of things to farm: Ancient Engine, Voidcast Iron, Ancient Spindle, Ancient Part, Credits, Obsidian of Dread, Obsidian of Desolation, Obsidian of Obsession, Destroyer's Final Road, I can't even speak. Tracks of Destiny, you need all this stuff to get ready. Relic Sets, you're aiming for Break Effect 1, max that out with whatever stats I mentioned. You might want to go for Genius of Brilliant Stars, which is Quantum Damage, also pretty good. Stats, Energy Regen Rate on the Link Rope, the Planar Sphere, it's going to be Quantum Damage, right? Also for this, I didn't actually mention too much on the actual set. If I were, I could do that real quick. I think the best one was actually... where is it? So it's this one right here, Pan-Galactic Commercial Enterprise. I think this is the one I wanted to mention. I didn't get to, so increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 10%. Meanwhile, the wearer's attack increases by an amount that is equal to 25% of the current effect hit rate, up to a maximum of 25%. So this will be pretty good for the character if you want to go for that, but that's what it looks like for the planetary ornament set. So there you go. Quick little video here just to go over some things to prep before the character drops. Hope you enjoyed it. With that really being it, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, peace out, enjoy. And that's been it for me. Yeah.